Well, great question here from Patrick J. As we're doubling down on our commentator conversation, he wants to know where's the best place to commentate, Jim? Did you prefer having a desk at the top of the ramp like we saw at times in AEW and in the WWF, or did you prefer to have your ringside table ringside?
Ringside, without question. Not even a close, not even a hard to answer that one. I like to be close to the action. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to feel it. And being at ringside gives me the opportunity to do all those things.
We also want to ask about. Well, Moam asks a great question. He says, as announcers, when the announce table is broken, why do we sometimes hear them say, like, my monitors are down, I can't see anything, when they could just look in the ring from a logical point of view? Is that simply based on, if your job as the commentator is not necessarily to explain what you as the commentator see, your job is to explain what the audience at home can see. And if you don't have the monitor, you don't know what they can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're reliant on the monitor. You want to be able to not get detached from what you see on in your monitor, because what you see in your monitor is what the fans are seeing at home. So by not knowing what visual that they are being able to to look at, makes it very excuse me, makes it very challenging.
The Turnbuckle has a great question. He wants to know, had you stayed with WCW in 1993, so you're not going to jump, you're not going to be at WrestleMania in Las Vegas, you're not a part of Vince McMahon's organization, you're going to stick around WCW through the Eric Bischoff era. We know you leave in 93, Nitro's created in 95. Had you stuck around WCW, what do you think your career would have looked like? How different would it have been, Jim?
Less money, because Vince paid me very well for my role, and it would have been less money, I think. And you know, nice working for Vince is cool because I had access to the decision maker, and that's something you always want to have. And no matter what job you got, you want to be able to communicate with your decision maker and the boss, shall we say. So I think I would have probably made a little bit less cash. It might not have been as stressful. I don't know. Eric and I had a difference of philosophy at times, which is not an indictment on him or me. It's just that we had different mindsets, and I, I made the right call. I'm not. I'm so hard headed and stuck in my ways that to say that, oh well, this was bad, this was good. It's all subjective, and but I think I made the right call going from a second or third team announcer to somebody that was put into a position to be the voice of a brand, and it's a strong brand, no doubt about that.
Hey, Troy has a great question here. Jim, what's your favorite overseas international crowd? Like, you've called matches and literally everywhere from England to Japan to Germany to France and everywhere in between. But of all the different countries you've been to, is there one crowd that you think is maybe most memorable or your favorite international crowd?
That's hard to answer because there's so many great crowds. I'd suggest that it would more likely be somewhere in the UK
Yep.
because they had less issues with the language and so forth. So I'd say a UK crowd. We had some great shows in Manchester. We had some great shows at the O2 in London over the years. So I'd suggest that that would be somewhere to start without question.
Luke wants to know, what's your favorite memory of all your time you spent in Japan? We haven't spent a lot of time talking about JR in Japan. Does an Oki have a good time in Japan?
Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely. You have a good time wherever you want to have a good time, and I start my good times with food, and having great Japanese food is something I can't discount. So yeah, I think having good food in Japan. The fans are very passionate. They're a lot more educated to the English way of doing things than not. So Japan was always good. The fans are very respectful, and they're very enthusiastic. And if you get those two elements in place, it's hard to lose.
Chris wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Chamber of Horrors match in WCW? Jim, to jog your memory, this is the one where we had zombies in coffins and Abdullah the Butcher was electrocuted in the electric chair.
Yeah.
It was in Chattanooga, and it was when the Braves were in the World Series, like 45 minutes away. It was a crazy day in WCW history.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that extreme a gimmick match. I never thought that one worked. It was what it was, but I don't think it was great.
Cassie wants to know, who was your favorite wrestler to talk to backstage in the late 90s? We know you formed a big friendship with Steve Austin, but who are some people that you had friendships and relationships with, Jim, that we may not know about?
Well, all the agents, were important to the success of any presentation because they're like the quarterback coach on the sideline of a game. They were their eyes and ears, and they would tell you how a talent felt about a finish or a booking or whatever. So I relied on the agents a lot, like Jack Lanza was one of our key agents. And Jack had a great way of communicating with talent. He especially got along well with Stone Cold. And I learned from Cowboy early on that you take care of your stars and you communicate with them, and you want to know their pulse. How are they feeling? What do they think about this? And sometimes when you're willing to lower your ego, you get great ideas from the talent. If they buy into something, then as a rule, it helps to work everything out. Talents that have a say in what they're doing is a good formula. It works out pretty damn well. So not that you can take their feedback to heart every time, but knowing what they like or what they don't like is very important.
We also want to do a question here from a wrestling historian, and I know that this is not something that you're usually a fan of, but I am curious, when you really think back, what's your favorite prank that a wrestler did? Like, I know as a rule of thumb, you weren't a big rib guy, but surely there had to be one that you thought, okay, that's not too terribly mean spirited or just downright rude. That's just funny. Is there one that stands out, or were you just opposed to all of them?
Not really. I mean, some of them are entertaining and some of them are funny. There's no doubt about that. I'm not a no curmudgeon that I didn't like humor. But nothing stands out, Conrad, to answer your question directly, quite honestly. But, they're not all bad. It's just a matter of timing. When it's time for the bell to ring, let's get down to business. Let's go play. And that's kind of how I looked at it.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next two house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. give us a call at 888-425-0105 or get yourself a quick quote. Even talk to a live person right now at savewithconrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at savewithconrad.com.